Hey guys, tonight we're diving straight into the icy embrace of early Viking mornings, where the air nips at your nose and the promise of adventure makes your heart race just a little. Picture this. You're snuggled under your furry blanket, your toes still tingling from the morning chill, and suddenly you're up and bustling around on a Viking Longship, your coffee replaced with a stout gulp of mead. A day of history wrapped around you like a fuzzy pair of socks that never quite match, but somehow feel just right. You probably won't survive this wild and woolly voyage, but hey, it's all in good fun, right? Before you get too comfy, feel free to tap like or subscribe, but only if you're genuinely enjoying the calm around here. Tell me where you're listening from and what time it is over there. I love seeing how far this sleepy little journey reaches. Now, go ahead and lower the lights. Maybe let a fan hum in the background, and let's drift gently into tonight's story together. You wake up, and it's cold. I mean, the kind of cold where you can see your breath hanging in the air like a little puff of dragon smoke. It's the kind of chill that makes you grateful for every bit of fur you can wrap around yourself. Layers upon layers. As you peel back the blankets and furs piled on your low wooden sleeping platform, you feel that unmistakable bite of a new day on the fjord. Outside, the water slaps gently against the hull of the ship, a rhythmic lullaby drowned out by the sound of your fellow sailors beginning to stir. It's early, and if time were a playlist, this would be the chill mix for sure. The wood beneath your feet is as cold as the promise of a February morning, each step echoing softly as you shuffle to the edge of the boat. There's a splash of icy water, your morning coffee, Viking style, as you do your best to shake off sleep and shivering. Of course, a hearty breakfast helps too. There's a steaming pot of porridge being ladled out at the bow. It's slightly bland, but hey, at least it's warm, and it fills the void. Honestly, diet plans aren't much of a thing here. It's all about survival, like diving through old emails hoping one will magically resolve itself. While you eat, you hear the usual morning chatter, the kind where everyone's saying a little too much about the storm last night and not enough about setting 5 alarms and ignoring all of them. The captain's already barking orders, his voice cutting through the stillness with all the gentleness of a full inbox on a Monday morning. The ship needs to be cleaned and inspected before setting out. Every nail, every rope, every board plays its part in getting you across the seas. Kind of like keeping 27 browser tabs open on your quest to feel productive. Now here's a quirky little tidbit. They say you can tell a lot about a crew from the way they pack their longship. You see, in your longship, everything has its place. It's a piece of moving architecture. The shield rack is lined with the bright round shields that double as sides and deck ornaments when you're not being totally extra about it. Inside, beneath the deck boards, the most peculiar luggage resides. Bits and bobs, keepsakes, charms against the unpredictable nature of the sea. It's the Viking version of carrying lucky socks, minus the odd looks if they're mismatched. Historians still argue whether the odd charms and tokens, those tiny carved bits of bone or wood found at ancient shipwreck sites, were mere trinkets or had some cultural indoctrination in their voyages. Was it superstition or art? A token of love from someone back home, or just a decoration? Just like today, sometimes it's difficult to tell where practicality ends and sentimentality begins. As the morning unfolds, work on the ship continues. The men check the beams, tie down the sails, and make sure everything is just how it should be. The chatter dies, replaced by the comfortable lull of a well-rehearsed dance. A flow as natural as people nodding along without really listening to a podcast. This was your life, a dance with the sea, the hum of the world around you, and the energy of the crew winding up with the sun's ascent. Once everything's ready, the entire ship performs the task with the precision of watching a million cleaning videos instead of actually cleaning. The sails unfurl, their wings catching a breeze that hints at both adventure and the icy promise of distant shores. You take a moment, clutching the cold wooden railing under your hand. The horizon, a hazy blend of blue and gray, stretches infinitely ahead. It's the Viking version of staring at unread notifications, each one a step into the unknown. You're not sure where you're going, but there's a comfort in that. The horizon is calling, and you're ready to answer, mismatched socks and all. With a deep, bracing breath, you stand ready on the deck, feeling the vibration of the sea beneath your feet. The Longship glides forward smoothly, the land beginning to fall away behind you, and with it, perhaps some of your early morning misgivings. You're moving now, propelled not just by wind, but by a collective heartbeat of laughter and chatter that weaves around you like the warmth of your favorite blanket. The blanket you honestly never want to give up. The long, cold journey has only just begun, but with it, the stories gathered along the way will be the warmth that feeds the soul. It's the ultimate adventure, one you can't help but binge through with each passing wave. As you settle into life aboard the Viking Longship, the air seems to change its tune. The breeze shifts from a howling reminder of home to a whispering promise of lands yet unseen, carrying with it stories of the old gods and daring adventurers. Your fingers trace the curves of the wooden oar you've come to know all too well, an extension of yourself in this aqueous world, much like those earbuds you stick in to pretend you're busy when someone tries to start small talk at the cafe. With the hypnotic sway of the ship, your thoughts begin to drift along with the vessel. You're already seasick with excitement, and frankly, just a little bit anxious. You find yourself in a sea of comforting rituals each crew member follows. Bjorn, the carpenter, is always busy with a whittling knife, creating intricate works of art from scraps of wood. His focus is unbreakable, like someone deep into scrolling reels on 2% battery, daring the phone to last just a little longer without plugging it in. Breakfast haunts your belly. It's the protest of a seafaring stomach unused to rolling waves. Yet the constant rhythm of the Longship against the tides becomes a lullaby, making your eyelids heavy. It's funny how at various moments, you can find yourself zoning out entirely, like putting more on the slice of bread, more mead, and even just a bit more sleep between hard tasks. The singing starts up in the late morning, a comforting, melodic syncopation against the chirp of the seabirds who've decided to grace your presence from overhead. Sea shanties, or perhaps some Old Norse tongue, not quite poetry, not quite prose. The verses speak of faraway lands where ale flows freely and troubles vanish like dreams upon waking. The laughter mixes with the song, and suddenly, you aren't just a collection of individuals crowded together on a wooden beast. No, you're part of something larger, something that stretches across the wide world before you. A concerted effort, just like sharing playlists among friends to find a collective jam. Here's where it gets a bit delightfully odd. Among the crew, there's a tradition brought alive by the youngest members. It involves a riddle or tongue twister passed around each morning. If truth were told, they'd rival even your most nonsensical TikTok trends for sheer randomness and entertainment value. The current favorite? How much wood would a wart frog if fine wood they found floating forward? The answer doesn't matter. You laughed anyway, didn't you? It's one of those you had to be there moments, like trying to rationalize Googling how to get my life together at 3 a.m. It doesn't quite make sense, but somehow it does. Our historians all love to chat about the Viking navigational skills, yet they still argue whether the sailors used sunstones or mere intuition to guide their way across the vast, sun-dappled, and notoriously misleading expanse. Did their path rest upon more scientific principles? Or did instinct drive their decisions, like trusting Siri to lead you to your destination without a second glance at the confusing intersections life decides to spring on us unexpectedly? Lunchtime creeps up on you like the realization that you've been watching cooking shows while still eating instant noodles, and perhaps reading long descriptions of feasts those sailors dream about. As the salt stings your lips and the wind tugs at hair and beard alike, you play your part in the grand waterbound theater unfolding around you. Salted fish with a slice of coarse bread doesn't beguile the starving body, but it will keep hunger dismissed for a little while. It tastes strangely comforting through the haze of hunger. Above you, the sun sits higher, a golden beacon smiling down on your small vessel, inspiring you to dream big dreams of lands barely seen by the eye. A shimmer of gold on the rippling sea sets the fantasy adrift. Ambassador to your own heart's desires, deciphering which loose map will lead to riches, adventures, or at least an intact ship and safe return. You start humming along to a tune you don't recognize, a tune likely echoing out of the pettiest of Viking minstrels who've stowed away in your subconscious. Each note rolls from your tongue down to your heart, where it finds purchase amidst your hopes and fears. These melodies shape the way sailors viewed the world, illustrating sagas in every crest of a wave and every rise of the moon. The afternoon drifts into golden hues as time folds into itself, and the rhythm of rowing long toward the horizon hypnotizes you once again. With each stroke of the oar, with each creak of the ship's timbered bones, you grow deeper into the journey. It's an ebb and flow between past and future, only ever existing in the now, like staring out through the window with comfy socks pulled all the way to your knees, every tick of the clock contributing to your fast-sleeping dreams of distant shores. As the sun dips, casting its farewell in long shadows over the water, you feel it in your bones, a call to adventure that whispers between the lull of waves and echoes on in the stories you'll someday tell. And just like that, the voyage continues. Each moment a precious thread in the tapestry of your journey woven beneath the stars. Every day, a stitch, a memory, a note of laughter on the sighing wind. As dusk begins to paint the sky in hues of lavender and orange, you find yourself lost in the gentle sway of the sea. There's a soothing rhythm to it all, like the soft buzz of your laptop fan when you hit play on a new playlist and just let it wash over you. It's time for the nightly routines, those unspoken rituals that somehow anchor you to this floating piece of the world. Checking your gear, tidying your small personal space beneath the deck, and making small talk over salted meat and watered-down ale. You find yourself thinking about home, about the warm hearth, and the crackle of firewood that sends a little spark of longing right through you. But even here, on the cusp of new adventures, there's solace in the memory. Maybe it's your ancient version of texting "on my way" while still in bed, promising a swift return to the warm circle that waits for you somewhere beyond this endless horizon. Tonight, the banter is punctuated with laughter. Einar, the always effervescent storyteller, spins tales of sea monsters and enchanted isles, his gestures larger than life, shadowed by the setting sun. He's one of those natural narrators who can make even the most mundane roll of parchment seem like an epic scroll from antiquity. There's talk of krakens, those mythical creatures with sprawling tentacles scribed into windswept rock faces by sailors long before TikTok challenges became a pastime. "You won't believe it," he says with a wink, like serving a dish of childhood rhymes laced with salty adventure. It's these stories that keep you afloat when the waves threaten to claim too much. Between bites of bread and sips of ale, you pass the time debating whether these yarns could possibly be true. Each tale a little twist of truth and absurdity. After all, historians still argue whether these wild yarns have any basis in reality, or if they're simply mariner, tall tales spun to enchant sleep-deprived minds, much like trying to figure out if that 3 a.m. purchase of a singing fish wall ornament was inspired genius, or the result of too much caffeine and a late-night dive into nostalgia. As the last vestiges of daylight unravel across the sky, something curious happens. The helm is handed over, and suddenly you're in charge of steering the whole majestic beast. Hand shaking ever so slightly, you grip the wooden tiller with white-knuckled focus. The stars above are your only map, an ancient cosmic GPS guiding you silently across a sea that never seems to end. You're halfway between feeling like a legendary explorer and a nervous understudy in a play about lost sailors. With no magical "you are here" icon glowing overhead, the task can feel daunting. The position of each glowing star matters, telling you where you've been and where you're going. Not too different from trying to keep your place on an overly detailed fantasy map sprawled across an old paperback. It's a delicate dance between what you can feel and what you trust the universe to show you when the time is right. Perhaps it's whispered superstition, but there's some debate among your fellow sailors whether the celestial maps work better when you've had a little star juice. That potentially exaggerated claim, accompanied by a knowing nod and perhaps a little hiccup. The older mariners have a faded memory that's helped or hindered by spirits, though you suspect their tales are more about bravado than accuracy. In this surreal moment of Zen, away from the chaos of the day, the silent dawn of comprehension does in fact come. You feel it, a connection to everything around you, an ephemeral oneness with the night. It's like untangling the headphone wires only to find you've accidentally lifted yourself into the perfect meditative state. The ship rocks beneath you, a gentle giant echoing with whispered songs of ocean spray and dreams tethered lightly to the stars above. A cradle for your mind's wanderings as much as the Longship is your physical vessel. This is the heart and soul of Viking adventure. A blend of hard labor, soft emotions, and the whisper of fate on an ocean breeze. Drifting across the cool, moonlit waters, with your perception skimming just beneath the surface, you start to realize how quickly the world around you becomes both everything and nothing. A living tapestry filled with stories, myths, and untroubled sleep. As the waves croon their lullaby, you feel your eyes starting to droop, an irresistible invitation to let go and trust in the gentle hands of the night. The sea, once an unfathomable force, has transformed into your bed and board, a ship's bow cradling you, the stars like a silent nightlight promising what's yet to come on this ocean-bound journey. As the deep indigo of the night envelops you, it brings with it a profound sense of quietude, the kind that folds around you like the worn and familiar fabric of your favorite hoodie. The rhythm of the oars, that comforting, repetitive sweep through the water, acts like a metronome guiding your thoughts towards softer things. Snatches of dreams intertwine with the muted chatter around you. It's a night shift that doesn't involve flickering screens or the blushing glow of unread messages. It's honest work beneath the countless glinting stars. In the distance, the sea blends imperceptibly with the sky, becoming an infinite expanse of possibility. You take a deep breath, and the salty tang fills your lungs, sharp and invigorating. It's like that first sip of a hot drink after stepping in from the cold, unexpectedly soothing despite the bite. Here you are, 1,000 miles from certainty, yet you feel inexplicably anchored to something greater. The ocean reflects backstories written in cruises, that legendary lore passed from sailor to sailor, with the understanding that everything and nothing can be true. You hear snippets about one voyage where the crew stumbled on an island of whimsical beasts that vanished as quickly as they appeared. Was it truth or imagination? No one could say. But the stories live on, enlivened by the fireside and the hopes of those who dream for a touch of the extraordinary, as natural as updating your resume while lying on the bedroom floor, contemplating the next adventure. With the gentle rhythm of stories shared and tales spun, you hear the echo of footsteps. It's Harold, known for his sharp wit and a penchant for the absurd, a man with 1,000 jokes and smiles ready to warm even the weariest of spirits. Have you heard? He begins, a twinkle in his eye, and you instinctively lean in. The story is about a mythical sea serpent 4 boats long, battled by a lone fisherman with only a broken oar for protection. You won't believe it, he laughs, the kind of pure, infectious laughter that makes even the most cynical minds nod along. It's that humorous blend of truth and fiction, like sending a meme instead of articulating complex emotions, a universally shared smile. Here's something quirky for you. Sailors often tied carved sea monsters onto the prow of their longships, a kind of demand on the cosmos to either protect or provoke, depending on the weather and whimsy. Whether they believed in these sea dragons as part and parcel of reality remains unknown. Historians still argue whether it was superstition or art, myth or metaphor, for the unseen and the unknown. Between stories and brief flashes of light-hearted woo, you realize the sky is aglow with an ethereal shimmer, the aurora. Greens and purples dance across the horizon, painting splashes of color against the night, setting the murmurs of the sea on fire with whispered secrets. The display is a breathtaking slideshow you trudge through with awe, your finger on an imaginary heart icon, liking every cosmic picture without hesitation. It's a marvelous reminder of both how small and how connected you are in this relentless universe. Entranced, you find yourself thinking about the Vikings' navigational skills, the debate on how much they relied on the northern lights to steer them during the night. Was it a beacon or merely a muse for their storytelling? You ponder the thought as you too now travel to the land of dreams, balancing on the waking edge of consciousness. As night wears on, Your fellow sailors pull cloaks and furs around their shoulders, settling into sleep's embrace. One of those quietly powerful moments occurs when even the air seems to hush. Heavy with an elegance born from shared experiences, the sea rocks gently. The stars stand sentinel, and for a few dazzlingly silent moments, the world feels almost perfect. It's in these sacred lulls that you understand what it means to be part of something as vast as the ocean, to belong to a tapestry of life and lore, woven together through determination and destiny, one journey at a time. The old wooden boards beneath you creak softly, whispering the secrets of countless crossings, each a writ of courage and curiosity. The night carries softly on, each ripple a signature of sorts on your life's journey, each sigh of the sea a caress, whispering you warmly into sleep. The promise of dawn will come too soon, returning to you the promises of new discoveries and tales, an ever-present reminder that the voyage you're on is embellished with stars, lore, and the whispering winds of the past guiding your sails. In your final thought before surrendering to dreams, you find comfort, an understanding that, like the stars above, the ocean below holds all the answers, if one knows not to ask too loudly. The answers are there in the silence, in the stories of old, and they promise to be there when you awaken, ready for the next chapter of your epic on seas eternal. As the first light of dawn begins to creep over the horizon, brushing the sky with soft strokes of lilac and gold, you find yourself already awake, tugged gently from sleep by the ship's gentle rocking. There's a crispness in the air that wraps around your senses, refreshing like the first morning stretch when popping joints remind you, oh so subtly, that you still exist. You pull yourself up, feeling the satisfying heft of moving limbs quietly regaining their strength. The Longship feels alive beneath you, its timbers stretching and groaning as if waking from a restful slumber of its own. The world is still mostly cloaked in those deep pre-dawn shadows, with the remnants of stars winking at you from the retreating darkness. It all feels oddly familiar, a timeless moment from another age of serene beginnings and hopeful continuations. You step out, feeling the morning's chill prickle at your skin. It's time for the morning ritual. It seems everyone is already stirring. Some are as bleary-eyed as you, rubbing sleep from their eyes, while others are energetic, already bustling with purpose. Soon, you're brought back to the here and now by a splash of icy water on your face, a sudden, rude wake-up call, akin to replying, LOL, without even the ghost of a smile. As the crew gathers for a quick breakfast, the camaraderie pulls you in like the final chapter of a book you've been savoring, promising warmth in each shared bite and laugh. The porridge this morning has run thin, a reminder of just how far away land is and how every grain and drop is tethered to the word enough. Yet in these days, far from home, the conversations act as a fine garnish, distracting your mind from the grumbling in your stomach. They are tales of bravery, resilience, and humor, served every day, like the humble porridge, continuous and comforting. Once your bowl scrapes the bottom, the day's tasks beckon. Today, you lace your fingers around ropes and sails, readying them for direction and thrust. It's an ongoing dance, choreographed intricately in your mind to the rhythmic beat of the sea. You laugh quietly to yourself, thinking how, in today's world, this is like setting out to conquer your inbox. One email at a time, one thread leading to another, pulling you into the current until it feels, for that brief moment, almost manageable. As you raise the sails, feeling the wind's playful tug, your thoughts drift to what lies ahead. Today's waters seem calm, mirroring the expansive sky above. Your mind plays with an endless loop of possibilities, shores unseen, tucked behind the secret folds of the sea's vast rippling tapestry. Imagine setting foot on land teeming with vibrant colors and unfamiliar scents. A refresher course in the art of amazement that holds much the same excitement as flipping open a new book, inhaling the scent of fresh paper and dreaming up new beginnings. One curious note from your mind's catalog of Viking lore arises. The notion that sometimes sailors claim to hear the siren call of solitude, the voice of calm urging release from the needs and demands that team up to sway life. It's a call you feel even now, a soft enticement that all is well. You wonder at the thin line between fact and fancy, whether others before you have stood aboard a longship just like this, pondering the mysteries of the world like placing a sticky note reminder on a mirror. There's always banter and speculation. What lands may grant new alliances, or how the appeasement of local spirits might lead to smooth sailing. Historians still argue over what true negotiations took place in these early Viking encounters, whether they leaned more toward trade or something more warlike. Did the Viking cunning resemble modern diplomacy, or was it edged in an aura of strength unparalleled? As the morning slips seamlessly into afternoon, the sun hangs languidly in a sky now entirely rid of the sleepy wisps of dawn. Scaled back to those primal hues, the longship glides forward through soft seas, the rhythmic swells inviting thoughts to flit and settle among the idle banter of the crew. Here tales twist and turn with each wave, slipping into myths. Your conversation is filled with a heady mixture of belief and whimsy. Someone starts up a tune, an easy song that rolls back to the times when the gods toyed with worlds. The tune is catchy, and you find yourself tapping along, lost in a subconscious beat that connects you to the past and future alike quickly as pulling on your earbuds to commute into another dimension entirely. Overhead, seabirds peel away in haphazard formations, their shadows skipping across the sails, a reminder of freedom, a whispering distraction. The vision of setting foot on foreign lands becomes more tangible with each passing hour. You feel a ripple of anticipation coursing through the air, touching everyone who stands beside you. Your modern explorers, ancient adventurers, everyone an indelible part of this endless play between sky and sea, dream and reality. As the sun sinks lower, drenching the horizon in dreamy oranges and placid pinks, you ride the swells of possibility, a mix of boldness and restraint, courage and fairness. Together, it all forms the exquisitely simple truth that you're exactly where your heart needs you to be, even as it reaches out towards the unseen horizon. The waves have softened into gentle caresses, coaxing you into a delicate balance where dreams swirl and reality bends just enough to make way for both. By now, you've settled into the rhythm of the long voyage, where each day unfolds like a chapter, each night brimming with whispers of what's just beyond sight. You find yourself clutching the carved post at the ship's bow, feeling the intricate patterns beneath your fingertips, contemplating the artistry and craftsmanship that brought this vessel to life, like admiring the precision of a perfectly brewed cup of coffee on a lazy Sunday morning. As the vessel skims across the serene water, you begin to feel the pull of uncharted lands, the stories they might tell, the histories whispered in languages foreign yet strangely familiar. There's an indescribable allure in the unknown stretches ahead, an urge to understand something more profound about the world and your place within it. Like scrolling through Instagram's endless feed, there's always another image, another detail yet to be discovered. The sun dips, a fiery ball melding into the ocean, taking its warmth with it and ushering in a chill that nips at your cheeks. You pull your cloak tighter around your shoulders, a habit now baked into your bones against the encroaching cold. It's like the persistent evening winds are old familiar friends, always popping up uninvited, yet somehow reassuring, as if testing your resolve to embrace the elements with a slightly cheeky nod. From your perch, you catch snippets of conversations drifting around, a tapestry woven from hopes and anxieties, daring tales of valiant warriors, and hushed murmurs cloaked in reverence. You learn of places where the wine flows freely from fountains, where dramatic cliffs drop into seas festooned with siren songs, where cities are built not by the hands of men, but by gods. These aren't mere myths, but possibilities that tickle the imagination, much like receiving an unexpected email from an acquaintance long forgotten but fondly remembered. To your right, Eric, the wise beyond his years navigator, casts translucent lenses toward the horizon. The precise nature of Viking navigation is another topic that historians still argue about. Did they divine their path using sunstones, those enigmatic optical crystals, or were the stars genuinely in their bones? The very tools of Viking navigation are a mystery wrapped in centuries of secrecy, draped in speculation, and tinted with the allure of ancient wisdom. Much like debating whether modern technology ever truly freed or merely distracted us further. Below, the whispers of the sea continue their relentless lullaby, an eternal soundtrack layering the familiar sounds of decks creaking and ropes snapping reflect their own rhythm, like the comforting click of a keyboard in the quiet of night. The surge of familiarity within your crew seems almost magical, akin to recognizing your song among millions on a playlist. A fleeting pause catches your breath when someone claims to spot land in the far distance. You squint into the dusk-mottled horizon, unsure whether it's wishful dreaming or bona fide truth. Yet the claim hangs on the air, ripe with the irresistible anticipation of possibility, like glimpsing an unopened message notification that promises revelation or reincarnation, maybe both simultaneously. In the gathering twilight, duty tugs lightly at your conscience. There's a task at hand that mirrors the organization of thoughts before sleep, a shared ritual of preparation and mindfulness. Each pull of the ropes brings you closer to the underside of simple reality, where dreams roam freely and adventure beckons. The routine is familiar now, like putting your night routine on autopilot, brushing teeth, fluffing pillows, dimming lights, preparing your mind for the fantastical journey of slumber. The night finally wraps its sable wings around the ship, shrouding it in quietude. The weight of responsibility dampens, tucked carefully into every pore of wood and sail where solidity meets dreams. You find yourself charmed by this collective reverence, a moment where everything settles and breathes as one. In these depths of night, you realize how utterly small and gloriously connected everything feels, how everyone's stories weave together, creating a fabric of life that reaches past boundaries, across oceans, and into the very heart of what it means to be human. The sea has been your silent witness, your constant guide, gently reminding you with each lap of water against the hull that it holds you, sustains you, carries you toward lands still waiting to be written with you as both author and explorer. You drift gently to sleep as a piece of this endless tapestry, embraced by stars, woven by waves, dreaming of new chapters yet to be unfurled beyond the pale horizon. As the sun stretches its golden fingers across the sea, you awaken to a world washed anew. There's a crisp clarity to the air, a sense of anticipation humming through the very timbers of the ship, bringing to mind that rare morning when you managed to wake just before the alarm, with a feeling of potential hanging brightly in the air like an unspoken promise. It's one of those extraordinary days that hints at the unexpected, where every sound seems bright and every sense feels electrified, like peeking behind the curtain of an unseen tomorrow. The chatter amongst the crew has taken on a curious tone, an undercurrent of excitement that dances around breakfast as you stir a ladle through the day's offering of gruel. It's a thin concoction, more imagined than tasted, but sufficient to fuel your body for the promise held in the day ahead. You make do, drawing strength from the banter around you, like charging your spirit with a power bank built purely from shared humanity. Today, talk of discovering new shores mingles with tales of lands that teeter between myth and reality. Rumors of sprawling green hills and valleys rich with resources feel as tangible as the salted breeze brushing your cheeks. It's the sort of day built for quiet theories and hopeful dreams, all encapsulated in whispers and glances that dance like beams of light across the water. As you help raise the sails, your hands find comfort in the familiar roughness of the ropes, fingers deftly tracing knots tied and retied, a testament to your time aboard. It's a task so deeply embedded in muscle memory that your thoughts are free to wander, much like scrolling through a friend's feed while chatting on the phone. Effortless, intuitive. Someone suggests singing as the rhythmic work continues, and a chorus rises from the crew, rowdy and joyful, pushing back the mundane. These sea shanties, with their hearty refrains and woven histories, offer levity, the words echoing across the water in tandem with the beat of your labor. It's a tide of sound that infuses the ship with energy, riding on the waves of camaraderie and shared purpose. Among your tasks, today's most significant is one laden with quiet reverence. The lookouts are particularly vigilant, scanning the horizon for a hint of landfall. It's an exercise that balances hope with patience, akin to waiting for the perfect moment to take that hard-earned vacation photo. Eyes are peeled, mirroring the sharp clarity of the sky above, ready to shout the moment indefinite shapes turn to solid earth. If you listen closely, between the flutter of sails and the slap of waves, you can almost hear the murmurs of the sea as it tells ancient stories. Narratives spun from tide and time, of journeys past and destinations yet to be reached. With every mile traversed, the long-asked questions float before the answerless gaze of the horizon, pondering if new lands will welcome you with open arms or wait to test your resolve instead. Historians still argue whether these voyages were propelled more by conquest or by exploration, a complex dance of intent hidden within each brave oar stroke. As mid-morning sun bathes the ship in warmth, you savor the bracing air. The world feels large and full of promise, a grand tapestry painted with the hues of dreams sprinkled liberally with soft spices of adventure. The song of sails catching the breeze fills the air, and your heart beats in rhythm to the vessel's steady glide, resonant with the shared goal that binds the crew together as one. Your mind starts to wander, pondering the idea of home, of returning to familiar shores with a heart fuller and eyes wider. The thought sits comfortably within you, nestled among careful observations and laughably off-key hums of a past song. Like closing the fridge door, hoping for new snacks to magically appear, you play this hopeful tune over and over until it becomes a comforting backdrop to the life unfolding before your eyes. Then, the shout comes. A pointed finger stretches toward the skyline, horizon meeting anticipation, and the soft inkling of land draws every eye in shared relief and joy. It's fleeting. A slipstream of uncharacteristic silence blankets the deck as hope solidifies into seen reality. The chatter picks up again, energized now, an electricity of expectation sparking through every single soul on the ship. The momentum is palpable as the ship shifts direction, subtly aligning with this newfound destination. A sense of fulfillment wraps around everyone like a well-earned warm blanket on a cold evening. They're all here, moving forward, a burgeoning family sailing toward something bright, or at least brighter than they've known in a while. As the day marches on, that distant speck becomes more than just a promise. It turns into forests, cliffs, a green embrace that calls out like an old friend. Ensuing tasks keep the anticipation at bay, each chore a step closer to the image solidifying in your minds. The excitement is tangible, woven into every smile and glance, a full-hearted adventure that grows in strength with every passing hour. And as your journey progresses, you find comfort in knowing that with each step, with each nautical mile logged, the stories you'll collect will only enrich the tapestry of shared human experience waiting to be told beyond the sea's embrace. You forge ahead, minds and eyes open, hearts swelling with neither past regret nor future anticipation, but the thrilling reality of now. As the shadows of evening begin to elongate and dance across the rolling waves, you're consumed by the mounting excitement of nearness, of finally almost arriving. It's the crescendo of everything you've imagined, each moment leading to this melodic moment where dreams and reality overlap like two halves of a shared song. Standing at the ship's edge, you find yourself wondering how it will feel to step foot on this new land. Is it solid like determination, or does it offer the unexpected softness of relief, akin to the first real holiday after swiping up endless work notifications? The air seems dense with expectation, the unfamiliar scent of land teased to life on the wind, a smell alive with grass-heavy earth, and the promise of something thrilling unknown. It's all so close now, you can practically touch it. The knowledge of arrival, shay unknown, drives the ship forward, the wood creaking contentedly as if in agreement, like someone vigorously nodding in the middle of a lively story. The palpable energy aboard is infectious, drawing you into its embrace. Everyone's animated, swapping stories about what might lie beyond the shore, all involved, like spectators before the unveiling of a magic act, where you both suspect and hope for wonder. The enthusiasm of the crew is boundless, and, for a moment, your current responsibilities slip away on the receding tides of joy-filled speculation. As you approach, you take note of the landscape's character, its inviting embrace, visible through the lens of sunlit glimmers filtered through soft sea spray. The welcoming sight fills your chest with an expanding warmth and a flash of something not unlike gratitude. You're struck by the wild beauty, its contours unfolding like the plot twists of your favorite novel, unannounced, yet making perfect sense once realized. But here's where the curiosity starts to bubble over. What presses against the boundary of myth and reality perched just beyond sight? As the coastline comes into sharper focus, you're conscious of the ancient legends mingling in this tableau. Stories of giants, elves, and spirits flit through your mind like ethereal shadows, blending with the convoluted dance of the past and present. Historians still argue over how much of Viking folklore was based in truth and how much was embroidered to become legend. The blurred interchange between tales rooted in history and flights of creative fancy, like the inspiring fluff you jot down in a midnight brainstorm. At long last, your patience is rewarded. You touch the ground beneath your feet, and the sense of arrival grips firm, affirming everything that came before it. The earth feels solid beneath your boots, reassuring in its steadfastness as it cradles the weight of an adventurer now tethered to discovery. You exhale slowly, allowing the stress of the sea to slip away into the sands below. The world here is vivid, colorful, alive from treetop to golden strand. You hear seagulls crying overhead, the call of wild, free things chasing the wind along the coastline, like balls of energy never quite in one place. The first few steps are tentative, a chance to absorb this newfound rhythm. But before long, you're weaving paths and winding your way through this vibrant place, bursting with untamed potential. It's exhilarating in a way that's both ancient and refreshingly new, like the ache of fresh air in lungs long sequestered indoors. You laugh with your shipmates as the ship's cargo begins to unload, laughter flowing and mixing with the sounds of surf against stone, a harmony that echoes across time, shrouded in the wistful mystery of first encounters. Heads are full of anticipation, hands ready to explore and embrace what lies before you. A world flavored by potential and painted with the grains of sand and salt from adventures past. Something surprising catches your eye. A group of native dwellers huddled at the edge of the forest, watching your arrival with expressions as curious as your own. You nod reassuringly, as if to say, "Hello," or perhaps, "We're just as eager for this meeting as you." In this moment, you face the unspoken relationship, intertwining your stories with theirs. A delicate dance of strangers, familiar yet new. In the ebb and flow of this curious welcome, you feel the tingling sense of mutual curiosity, a whisper of friendship wrapped in the guise of initial apprehension. It grows like seeds scattered by the autumn breeze to take root in fertile ground. With a tentative smile, you reach out, ready to shake hands not just with tomorrow, but with those who stand ready to share it alongside you. So here, on this wild and promising shore, you truly do begin anew. It's a story, only part written, inked in hope and heartbeats yet to unfold, promising an ever-expanding horizon. As you lift your eyes to the distant sun setting beyond the waves, you grasp that everything is interconnected. Every tale, every belief, every journey. And that, dear friend, is where the magic truly lies. As the sun dips lower, casting an amber glow across the landscape, you find yourself immersed in the ambient hum of this newfound world. It's that particular kind of twilight enchantment where the fabric of time seems to loosen, weaving together the past, present, and future into one seamless, multicolored thread. You breathe in deeply, letting the gentle peace of evening seep into your bones as you begin to explore the terrain around the landing site. The land is soft beneath your feet, a stretch of earth sculpted with rolling hills that invite you to wander. It's a feeling akin to drifting through a library, fingertips brushing book spines, each one a promise of adventure as your mind races ahead, charting paths through unrevealed tales. The potential here is palpable, a promise lingering in every breath of wind that stirs the leaves into a murmuring dance. The trees, tall and ancient, stand sentinel over the realm, their branches swaying gently as if whispering secrets to the gently encroaching dusk. You and your shipmates exchange quiet words, your excitement tempered with a keen awareness of the unknown, an understanding that you're no longer guests of the sea, but of this verdant expanse. It's as if you've walked into an intimate gathering without a formal invitation, relying on the grace of mutual curiosity to guide you. Night unfolds like a careful page turn, bringing with it the silvery shimmer of a rising moon. The air grows cooler, freshened by the mingling scents of salt, earth, and newly bloomed possibilities. As the shadows deepen, torches are lit, their flames a flickering dance against the dark, a gathering of warm, reassuring light in the growing depths of the evening. The glow somehow feels a little like those trusty old reading lamps by your bed, illuminating pages filled with stories yet untold. Your crew and the locals form small groups, a mingling of cultures and conversation under the night sky filled with stars that seem to wink conspiratorially at all below. Communication is a fascinating weave of gestured language, curious smiles, and the shared desire to understand each other despite the barriers of tongue and tradition. It's a bit like those nights where you aimlessly swipe through apps, finding connection despite the digital divide, the miracle of human expression taking on forms wondrous and unexpected. Historians still argue over what exactly transpired during these first encounters between Viking explorers and the people of newfound lands. Was it a harmonious exchange of ideas and goods, or a tense standoff filled with uncertainty and wonder? Perhaps it was a heady mix of both, blending the hard truths of survival with the gentle embrace of hospitality. As you stand amidst the exchange, you feel connected to this ongoing dialogue of history, a conversation as ancient as the stars and as immediate as your pulse. In quieter moments, when the night settles with a hushed sigh, you find yourself wondering about the unsung stories embedded in the land beneath your feet. The history unfurling there, unseen but steadfast, against which you now write your own chapter. The air whispers of traditions too often warped by the passage of time, inviting you to listen, to observe, to learn. Your thoughts skip like stones across a lake of possibilities, each ripple drawing out the essence of connection, a gentle encouragement to embrace differences while celebrating commonalities. The feast that follows is humble yet satisfying, a shared bounty reflective of the night's quiet splendor. Fingers press grapefruits, build simple yet delicious fare, and pass earthenware cups filled with mead. A symphony of flavors interplays over the course of conversation, a virtual scavenger hunt of culinary delight, reminding you of moments spent ordering takeout despite groceries tucked away at home. In those perfect shared instants, where laughter peals like chimes on the breeze, you realize how effortlessly the boundary between ally and stranger fades. Here, under the cosmic canopy sprinkled with stardust, you're part of a remarkable confluence of lives tied by destiny and dreams. Whispers of unity fill the spaces between breaths, an invitation extended by the universe itself to each of its dwellers, a melody of harmony that envelops your soul like favorite music. The night deepens into velvet silence, and your body relaxes into the sensation of being fully present in this magical, fleeting moment. With minds alight and hearts aglow, you linger in this nocturnal embrace, feeling the poetic understanding that binds you here in this place and time. A promise that wherever the journey next leads, a part of it will remain woven into the fabric of who you are. As you drift gently back to your resting place beneath the watchful stars, you carry with you the quiet assurance that every step taken, every connection made, and every story shared holds a piece of the truth that ultimately turns strangers into friends, dreams into reality, and exploration into something far larger than you ever imagined. This is where the heart finds home in the world, woven into every moment, every breath, every softly spoken word that unites the tapestry of life. As the stars blaze brightly overhead, you settle into your temporary camp on the edges of this mysterious new land. The warmth from the fire crackles as its glow bathes the faces gathered around it, running shadows out along the curves of your surroundings, catching glimmers in the dew that collects on blades of grass. It's a scene of quiet comfort, and it feels a little like those nights you spend unwinding after a long day, letting the steady hum of the fan and the cozy flicker of candlelight lure your mind into stillness. Your senses take in the myriad sounds of nightlife awakening, crickets serenading the moon, far-off rustles hinting at hidden creatures weaving their nocturnal ballet. It's reassuring in its unfamiliarity, each sound an echo of ancient rhythms that have sung through generations. The air hums faintly with expectation, a gentle reminder that exploration brings with it both discovery and the delicate dance of respect and adaptability. Your crew, mingling effortlessly with the locals, turns the evening into an impromptu celebration. Languages wrap themselves around laughter, blending seamlessly with gestures and shared amusements. It's like a joyful patchwork quilt of humanity, sewn together with threads of mutual curiosity and newly found camaraderie. You find solace in this universal connectedness, a touch point where everyone's story weaves into the tapestry of time. There's a storyteller among the locals, a wizened elder whose voice carries through the gathering like a soft melody. Their tales are painted with the hues of a rich oral tradition, stories that blur the line between myth and truth. Much like the bedtime tales you've stayed up late reading, hoping for that little spark of enchantment to light the path through the ordinary. You listen, captivated by fables of trickster spirits, legendary beasts, and gods roaming ancient forests, as visions of these wonders play out in your imagination. Historians still debate the nature of Viking settlements in foreign lands, whether their presence was more about integration or dominion. Was it harmony or hegemony? The debate is as timeless as any sea shanty, each side singing their own truths into the void, hoping to elucidate the past through reverberations carried from distant shores. As you sit amidst this gathering, bridging cultures beneath a star-cloaked sky, it's clear that understanding grows with every shared story and exchanged smile. As your eyelids grow heavy with contentment and the gentle persistence of rest, you find yourself dozing in and out of dreams. You imagine future journeys and questions yet to be answered, a series of adventures contained in the soulful voyage both onward and inward. It's a pacifying thought, like the gentle weight of your phone in your hand, ready to cradle your thoughts, guiding them through the dim tunnel of sleep. In this liminal space between wakefulness and dreams, you recognize that the way forward is forged by those willing to walk it, by those embracing not just the physical crossings of oceans and lands, but the crossings in hearts and minds, braided within intentions and actions alike. It's a realization that threads through you, planting seeds of innovation while simultaneously honoring roots of ancestry. As the campfire slowly dwindles into embers, the scene dissolves into a soothing hush, a comforting close drawing the day to its tender conclusion. Together, you and the land rest easy in the silent exchange of life, continuing both apart and whole. A foundation of experiences stacked like well-loved books against the whim of time. Finally, nestled warmly beneath stars that sway in gentle arcs overhead, you let go of conscious thought, surrendering to the embrace of restful night. Within this cradle, with the temple of nature surrounding you snugly, stories echo softly into the peace of sleep. Each note carrying the heart's promise of undreamt adventures yet to come. And as your breathing slows to match the rhythm of the earth below, the world at large feels a little smaller, a little softer, a little more like home. The night wraps around you like a soft blanket, settling into your bones, while the rhythmic breathing of your fellow travelers mingles with the symphony of the living land. As sleep carries you away, dreams take over, weaving tales built on whispers of the past and threads of the future, echoing the stories you've shared and learned under the stars. It's like clicking through endless reels, each one a snapshot of possibility that flickers before fading seamlessly into the next. Dawn's first light gradually pulls you back to awareness, a gentle susurration of color painting the horizon with the promise of another fresh start. The air feels crisp and cool, a refreshing balm to your senses that fills you with the invigorating spirit of the unknown day ahead. There's a quiet love in waking here, amid the untamed beauty that invites exploration with open arms, much like the excitement of unwrapping a book you've long been waiting to delve into. Around you, the camp hums to life with a soft murmur, like a cozy morning in a familiar cafe. Clinks of preparation and whispers of plans, creating an audible tapestry that's both reassuring and enticing. Breakfast is a simple affair, a shared nod to sustenance and togetherness as vital as the journey itself. It's that delightful ritual that calms morning apprehension and steadies the spirit as the sun rises higher, rubbing the sleep from its eyes in unison with you. The day is yours to navigate, and you find yourself eager to tread beyond the confines of familiarity, ready to embrace the nuances and subtleties of this newly discovered land. You roam, your senses alive to the textures that enfold you, the lush greens of the forests, the crunch of leaves underfoot, and the caress of a gentle breeze weaving its way through the landscape. It's an experience so vivid, it rivals the crispness of a polished photograph, capturing a moment suspended perfectly in time. As you wander, the locals share their knowledge, guiding you with a blend of pride and kindness that transcends the spoken word. They nod toward landmarks, sharing with you the narratives etched into each slope and hollow. These stories echo deep, burrowing into your soul like seeds planted, each one a testament to the timeless power of place. It's a language you understand, much like the unbroken gaze exchanged between two strangers that communicates volumes without saying anything at all. During these moments, the world opens itself to you, and your heart swells in response. Historians still argue whether the Vikings' reputation for exploration was driven by a thirst for conquest or a deeper desire for understanding. But in this tranquil balance under the sun, as shared gestures and mutual wonder paint a wider picture, you're inclined to believe it's both. A blend of curiosity and courage, Much like the moments we choose to step outside our comfort zones in search of something beautiful, the afternoon deepens, and you find yourself back at the shoreline, where the rhythm of the sea's heartbeat greets you as an old friend. The Longship bobs gently on the waves, a cradle of history and adventure poised for its next journey, waiting for you to join in the dance that carries it onward. You take a moment, tracing the lines and contours of its structure as you reflect on how far you've come, contemplating the horizons yet to discover, like saving a half-finished draft only to come back to it with renewed clarity. The breeze carries with it the murmur of future tales, and you're reminded that though the waters are vast and unknown, each current bears with it the possibility of wonder and wisdom, hardship and heroism. These lessons, gathered like errant stardust on this tapestry of exploration, continue to guide your heart and mind as steadfastly as any physical star on heaven's map. As the day melts into a mature evening, with a sky awash in colors of deep coral and soft indigo, you find yourself back at the communal fire. The laughter, warmer than the flames, wraps around you, just one thread in a tapestry of togetherness woven from today's experiences. Together, you've planted the seeds of stories that will echo across lands and lives, grounding them in the fertile soil of shared discovery. The world feels more expansive and rich than ever before, limitless in its possibilities, an open book with pages fluttering breathlessly under curious fingers. As you gaze into the depths of night and stars, you instinctively understand what it means to journey, not just to the edges of the map, but through the landscapes of your spirit too. And in this profound, precious moment, between the now and what's to come, you understand this voyage is infinite, and yes, this very infinite is home. The cool embrace of evening settles in, wrapping you and your newfound companions in a shared warmth that goes beyond the physical. Around the fire, embers glow like scattered jewels against the hush of awaiting darkness. Tired eyes, though heavy with the day's adventures, are alight with the satisfaction of another day well lived. It's akin to the comforting exhaustion that follows a satisfying day of discovery and understanding, where every footstep laid was one toward something better, something more. You find yourself quietly reflecting on the fabric of your journey, a tapestry woven with each word exchanged, every hand extended in greeting, and every shared glance that speaks louder than language could ever claim to do. The universe spins stories in each of us, pulling us together in silent understanding, much like characters in the chapters of a cosmic novel still being authored under the watchful gaze of a tender sky. As you sit, gazing into now-dying flames, the timeless nature of human connection reveals itself through the silhouettes gathered here. Heads nod in understanding, laughter punctuates the quiet, and even the simplest gestures, hands extended to warm before the blaze, are rich with the language of camaraderie. It's a warmth not unlike that of mornings spent with cherished friends, sipping coffee and savoring the comforting knowledge that right now, in this moment, you are not alone. Your mind drifts over the landscape of these interactions. Strangers no more, softer in the vulnerable truth that exploration seeks not just the conquest of new lands, but the reaching of new hearts. Historians still argue whether the bonds forged by the Vikings were born from necessity or a genuine wish to bridge worlds. And yet, as the night holds its breath, you sense that here, perhaps more than anywhere, intent stretches like a bridge between shores, an unspoken pact to honor courage and curiosity in equal measure, like peering into the eyes of a kindred spirit and finding a reflection of your own heart. Stories, new and ancient, dance on the cool night air, braided with the echo of waves against the shore. A reminder that beneath the cloak of night, the mystery of adventure swells ever forward. These tales, spun into captivating yarns over the crackling backdrop of firelight, capture the power of shared experience, the kind that leaves lasting imprints on the soul, like the gentle worn grooves on the beloved pages of an oft-read book. The realization washes over you with profound clarity. To venture is to understand that every journey, regardless of its path, inevitably leads inward. The world you've traversed and the stories you've collected act as both compass and constellation. Markers in the journey of self-discovery mirrored in the cosmos' steady glow, guiding you through unlit fields toward the light of knowing. The fire grows quieter now, its flames exchanging their vibrant dance for the quiet reverie of smoldering contentment. It's time to retire, to take these tender moments and weave them into the fabric of dreams, where they will rest, cradled gently like treasured keepsakes, until the dawn breathes new life into them. As you part ways, slipping beneath worn familiar furs, the embrace of sleep beckons you. Beneath this canopy, where stars wink and weave their age-old tales into a night as timeless as the seas you've crossed, you find solace in the knowledge that every night brings with it the promise of a new dawn, a cycle that stitches the continuity of life and adventure seamlessly into one. By the time sleep's tender hold overtakes you, the night has settled into a symphony of gentle rustles and whispered breaths, an orchestra celebrating the promise found in every heartbeat and each breath drawn. Lulled by the rhythm of the earth's quiet movement, you surrender to the sweetness of this moment, understanding that the true heart of a journey lies not just in the destination, but in each step shared along the way. And there, amidst the endless tapestry of stars, you find yourself at rest, an explorer, a storyteller, secure in the embrace of a universe that whispers its secrets tenderly to those who dare to listen. The night wears on, weaving together dreams with the gentle caress of the wind as it plays through the trees like a quiet lullaby, comforting and reassuring. You're nestled in a cocoon of warmth, feeling the earth cradle you as the rhythmic cadence of the waves provides a soothing backdrop. This gentle embrace of nature, the universe, feels a bit like being curled up in your favorite cozy reading nook, all wrapped up and utterly content. As you slumber, the stories from the day blend seamlessly with those of your dreams, creating a patchwork of adventure, connection, and introspection. Each narrative thread is a vibrant hue, vividly alive, woven into the fabric of the world that exists both within and around you. It's like navigating through the pages of a beloved book, finding new meaning with each read, while also savoring the comforting familiarity of the journey. When dawn breaks, the first rays of light dapple through the trees, casting intricate patterns on the ground, nature's own delicate filigree. The promise of a new day unfurls with the ritual ease of stretching after a good night's sleep, greeting you with a warmth reminiscent of a lazy, sun-soaked morning. You wake slowly, savoring the soft promise of what the day might hold, letting your senses gently reawaken. You pause for a moment, enveloped by the early morning's tranquility, a sacred silence that holds within it the whispers of hopes and opportunities. Around you, your companions begin to stir, each preparing for the day's journey with the quiet optimism that comes with new beginnings. There's a fundamental sweetness to this shared ritual, as comforting and nourishing as that first sip of coffee savored with deliberate intention. Breakfast is an unhurried affair, conversations picking up the gentle rhythm of the day, like a well-loved playlist on repeat. The air is filled with laughter that rivals the morning bird song, weaving its way into the fabric of the morning like golden threads. It's these moments that you cherish, holding them close in the knowledge that they are finite yet infinitely precious, small jewels in the passage of time. Once nourished and ready, the day beckons, with both the joy of exploration and the responsibility that accompanies it. Your heart feels light as you step forward, canvas unfurled on the easel of life, ready to paint another stroke on the masterpiece of your journey. The world opens itself to you once more, and you feel the irresistible pull, the call of the undiscovered, laced with the promise of new stories to thread through the vibrant tapestry of humanity. Your path takes you deeper into the heart of the land, every step uncovering textures and colors that brim with life, an invigorating dance between soul and landscape. The spirit of adventure emboldens you, every sight and sound a celebration. Much like unwrapping a gift, the contents revealed with each layer removed. As you walk, the locals accompany you, their stories blending with your own like tributaries, flowing into a greater river of shared understanding. You learn of their legends, their ways, their relationships with the land, forming connections that transcend spoken words, lodged in shared experiences and mutual respect. The exchange feels rich and vital, a tactile to and fro, akin to flipping through a photo album. Each image a story longing to be told over and again. Afternoon brings you a hushful pause, a serene vista that reaches out and invites quiet contemplation. Here, time seems to stand still, allowing you the space to breathe and the freedom to reflect amidst the beauty painted before your eyes. It's as if nature itself has laid out a treasure map, and you're taking the tender breaths needed to decode its secrets. Historians still contest how much of what you see once inspired the old stories of gods, creatures, and magicians. Are they mere figments of stories told to warm nights, or echoes of truth living in the veins of time? The debate finds purchase in your thoughts, sparking curiosity, mirroring the timeless dance between certainty and wonder, inviting you to sit comfortably in the space between, like the gentle tension, humming an art, poised between brush and canvas. As dusk descends, painting the horizons with a wash of amber and indigo, you return to the fire, blazing heart of the evening's gathering. Its flickering flames create a safe space in this vast, welcoming world, a reminder of fellowship, gently nurturing hearts opening wide under the night's watchful gaze. Laughter, camaraderie, and the shared presence nourish your spirit with a richness beyond words. And as the newest stars sidle up to the moon's luminescent glory, you bask in the simple truth. Each day is a gift, each connection a shared story, and each future step another weave in the grand tapestry binding you to the earth, the people upon it, and the great adventures that pepper its endless horizons. So you settle in, wrapping thoughts around this cherished infinitude, knowing deeply that the ending of each day is merely a gateway to a beginning yet unseen, a gentle reminder that the voyage of life is an unending dance, full of wonder, wisdom, and the poignant beauty that makes the world and our place within it infinitely precious. As the firelight flickers its gentle dance, The night cradles you in a serene embrace, drawing you ever closer into its tranquil fold. Here, wrapped in the delicate serenity of evening, a time when the world feels softer, like the gentle glow of fairy lights casting their warmth over a room, you allow your senses to settle, basking in the intimate quietude. The crackling of the fire becomes a soothing symphony, beside which your world seems both vast and intimate, like lounging on a cozy couch with a favorite book in hand. It's an experience that elongates time and space, where each breath syncs with the rhythm of the universe, where every flicker of the flame illuminates the faces around you, painted in the quiet glory of contented companionship. Conversation ebbs and flows like the tide, voices rising into the night air, celebrated through laughter that drifts upward to mingle with the stars. Stories once more thread their way into your collective consciousness, a tapestry of experiences woven with threads of tales as old as the lives that claim them. Some are recountings of the day, others journeys into the depths of memory and myth, each one carrying with it a bit of magic, made real by the act of sharing. Your mind, full yet yearning for more, sparkles with the reflections born of these stories. Historians continue to question when it was that these gatherings transitioned from survival to ceremony, from the necessity of warmth to the celebration of togetherness and tales shared in good humor. Did our ancestors first draw close to fire for protection or for connection? Perhaps history leaves that one open to personal interpretation, offering a space for the imagination to rest. These moments under the stars ground you, gently tethering the heart to the cosmic dance ever ongoing. You think of how journeys unfold, much like these stories. Origin points burgeoning into plots, ever deepening with layers of understanding, experience, and reflection. You cannot help but feel that in these quiet moments, life is at its most profound, simple, true, full of unrushed wisdom, proclaiming in a soft voice the little glimmers of life that connect you to everything. As the fire slowly dwindles down to glowing embers, you draw comfort from the lingering warmth, each flicker echoing the sustaining spark of possibility. Around you, the air fills with quiet murmurs, lullabies wrapped in words both spoken and silent, crafting a cocoon into which the night delicately settles. The universe feels immense yet intimate, an invitation to dream sent personally just for you. The stars, calm and eternal, keep watch as you begin to retire for the night, a fluttering hush settling all around, blanketing each thought, each breath in evening's tender embrace. You find solace in the knowledge that tomorrow will greet you anew, swaddled in possibilities just waiting beyond the horizon to unfurl in time's inevitable gentle march. With one last look to the sky, where constellations hang like jewels in the night's inky canopy, you surrender to sleep's beckoning call, letting the residue of dreams and stories propel your spirit forward. Tonight, as the earth cradles you and the cosmos tuck you in beneath its vast expanse, there is peace, a certainty that in waking, new stories will await, ready to be uncovered by eager eyes and open hearts. In this place of rest, you not only foster the dreams of adventure, but wrap their potential warmly around you, a promise whispered softly by the world and everything in it. In the gentle, rhythmic cadence of the night, you find a home, adrift in the larger voyage that is life's perpetual unfolding, a tapestry of the human spirit, etched forever under the watchful gaze of the universe. And with that, you slip into sweet sleep, peaceful, dreaming, and content in the knowledge that the journey continues. With the gentle touch of morning, light spills across the landscape like a painter's brush, sweeping hues of gold and soft pink across the horizon. The world softly yawns awake, each element gradually stirring to join the symphony of dawn, a symphony that begins quietly, like the early morning whispers of the world, bringing you gently back to waking life. It's akin to the subtle hum of the fridge in the pre-dawn stillness, a familiar sound that reassures and centers, bringing the edges of the dream-filled night into focus. You rise slowly, savoring the lingering warmth from your blanket of rest as the fresh, dewy air fills your lungs with promise. The night has left a thin veil of mist over the land, a blanket of mystery that quickly begins to lift with the sun's gentle nudging, revealing the familiar contours of your camp, now cast in the soft glow of a new day. There's a spirit of readiness humming amongst your companions, a tangible positivity that pulses through the crisp air, much like the rush of excitement that follows the pop of a notification portending something wonderful. You exchange nods and morning greetings, accompanied by a shared moment of gratitude for this wild, wonderful world in which you find yourselves. This morning, you're struck by the understanding that your experiences have woven you into the rich tapestry of this place, every encounter leaving a thread of connection that ties you ever closer. It feels like family, like the comfortable familiarity of a group chat that exists more in heartbeats than words, sharing energy and joy from miles away. As breakfast discussions unfold, the atmosphere dances with the excitement of new intentions. Discussions focusing on how best to embrace what this land offers, a delicate balance of curiosity and respect. More discoveries lie ahead, be they in lands unexplored or in the deep dives of conversation with those who have walked these soils longer than you. Fueled by the camaraderie of the morning, you set out, senses finely tuned to the world around you. Each rustle of leaves, every call of a distant bird etched into the shared canvas of experience. Each step forward is one of anticipation, of listening closely to the heartbeat of the earth beneath your feet, a reminder that there is profound joy to be found in both the journey and the destination. The landscape receives you tenderly, its hills, valleys, and trees, like characters in a sprawling epic you never tire of unraveling. The stories they hold, whispered in the language of the wind, feel like an invitation to weave a continuation of their already intricate narratives. These are moments of clarity amid the otherwise unknowable, each flit of awareness transforming the ordinary into artistry. Amid your explorations, there's a moment to pause on a windswept hill, to gaze out over stretches of untamed land, unfurling like thoughts eager to be received. Historians still argue the nature of exploration. Was it driven by necessity, wanderlust, or some destiny etched into the stars? There's magic in this, knowing that within that argument lies the spark of human endeavor, forever driving us to uncover what lies beyond the next rise. The afternoon flows gently, a river undulating through time, marked by shared glances and silent whispers, planting the seeds of stories that wait on the cusp for just the right moment to rise. As you meander back toward the camp, your heart wraps around the realization that this land, once foreign, has become part of your own narrative, and you, part of its endless story. As evening descends, dusk paints its watercolor brushes across the sky, a masterpiece that's both ephemeral and eternal. the flicker of flames rises once more, inviting you to gather around stories and traditions that have been built one night at a time. The loop of existence plays softly, inviting you to sit and absorb the kindness pulsing through all, woven from earth and song, history and hope. Laughter weaves its way through the tender tapestry of night, wrapping every soul in the comfort of shared moments. You let the warmth of each spoken memory wash over you, revealing glimpses of lives lived with earnest depth and humanity, akin to the sheen of light that dances off a quiet, flowing river. And as the night deepens and stars once more cast their watchful gaze, there is a clear sense that the bonds formed today intricately tie together the days ahead. You're caught in a beautiful moment of realization. The truth of the journey rests not just in miles traveled, but in lives touched. The quiet cadence of hearts echoing against a backdrop of the infinite. With one last look at the softly glowing embers of the campfire, you let day's end blend seamlessly with the echoes of tomorrow, waiting like a held breath, a promise captured in shared glances and whispered into the night. Every tale told, every moment cherished, weaves you further into a pattern as old as time, where each new day spins its own threads in the ever-expanding tapestry of life. And with that comforting thought, you slip into sleep, a quiet centerpiece in a universe still whispering secrets, lovingly tucking dreams beneath a cosmic blanket, night by tender night.